been all year, and listen to our bodies, listen to Nando, listen to the training room, and go out there, practice at a high level, and get ready for the week.
Do you believe the teams can have letdown weeks?
No, I don't really think of that. I feel like that no matter what, whether it's a win, loss, or draw, you can always learn from it. But when you don't play to the level that you want, if you don't learn from the mistakes that you make, then that's when it can become a problem.
Do you feel like as strong as or stronger than you felt at this point in the season compared to past seasons?
I feel pretty good. They do a really good job here of listening to the signs, listening to the data, and I've been doing a really good job just buying in everything that they want me to do. And yeah, at this point, I feel my body feels really good. I feel it's fresh, as you could probably feel for week 14 or 13, whatever we're in. But yeah.
Have you changed anything in your routine?
Yeah, from the beginning, but I haven't changed anything from the beginning. That's kind of my biggest focus is how consistent can I be, how long can I stick to the process, and obviously each week's gonna present different challenges, but still sticking to the script and get ready for games.
For you, what's the key to kind of staying locked in and not letting some of the outside noise and the hoopla and buzz kind of seep into your daily work?
It's not real, so it's kind of like it's cool, it's beautiful to hear it, but at the same time you can't get caught up into it because when it's good they're gonna say positive things about you. You can't get caught up into it, and when it's bad they're gonna say negative things about you. You can't get caught up into it. So I think how my career went in New York, coming off hot, rookie of the year, and the next great running back in this, and then tear my ACL, and I'm never going to be this again, then coming back and playing at a high level, then going back down again. So I think all that is a blessing in disguise and kind of prepared me for the type of season I'm having right now. So just staying, and I'm blessed and surrounded by tremendous people, whether it's in this locker room, or my family, or mentors, or people that I can pick up the phone and talk to. Not keeping me humble, but staying grounded and staying locked in, and knowing the thing that matters most is winning football games.
While you're staying grounded, focused on the team, and not really focusing on individual accolades, how aware are you that you're getting close to Shady's single-season rushing record for the franchise and Eric Dickerson's all-time rushing record?
I'm well aware of it. That's something, once I got here, I looked up the history of the Eagles running backs, and I wasn't familiar with William Montgomery. Am I saying that correct? Wilbert Montgomery. I wasn't familiar with him, so I even got to do a dive in him and learn about him and Westbrook and Shady. That's your goal. You want to come in here, you want to leave a legacy on a place, on a franchise. I had the same mindset when I was in New York. Sadly that came up short. But yeah, I'm aware of that, but that's not like the driving factor of it. The driving factor is to win football games, put ourselves in position to make a run and go win it all. But yeah, I am aware of the things that I can accomplish, but the way I accomplish that is by sticking to the script.
Saquon, are there ways, aside from the offense that you're playing with and the offensive line you're running behind, that you are a better running back yourself this year than in years past?
Yeah, for sure. I'm older, mature, smarter, understand defenses a lot better. Got to give credit to Coach Singleton. He does a really good job of that, not only with me, but with Kenny and Will. That's why when we all come in, don't say we miss a beat. But yeah, just there's looks that I've seen before, and I kind of can predetermine what's going to happen. You never want to predetermine; you react to it. But for instance, the touchdown run where we had, like I said, I basically closed my eyes and hit it because I just knew that it's going to be somewhere in there, and I just had to trust Jordan. But and also trust in the offensive line and the system. Being consistent in that, and not knowing that I can't break 100 yards or this in one play. You just got to keep going play after play.
Is there a particular coaching point from Coach Singleton that has stuck with you?
There's a lot. There's really too many to we'll sit here for a long time if I can go down the list. But yeah, there's a lot. He does a really, really good job.
Saquon, this may not apply to you because you rest your body some during the week, but is practice different here than you were used to for those first 6 years? Do these guys do things in a way? How do they do things that maybe you didn't realize before?
I think they do. I think we do a really good job here. To be honest, I kind of don't really remember how we used to do, because like the schedules here is a little bit different. But I think they do a really good job of, going out there practicing hard but practicing smart at the same time. There's a fine balance of it. And I think Nick does a really good job. You got to give credit to him. And also to the guys here, buying into it, and it's working for us. So
is there compete here? Is there heavy compete here? I mean,
I would say that, but that's everywhere. It's the NFL. That's everywhere. It's NFL. Obviously, there's more competition based in off season and like in camp, stuff like that. And here during the season, you still got to be smart. But yeah, we go out there and we hold up. There's a standard. We have a standard that's set. Was set before I even got here, and you got to buy into it. And I think we've all been doing that.
How much have you benefited from it? They just signed a fullback. They've been using Ben as that and Grant this past week. How much does that help you?
I mean, it helps. We're doing a really good job of it. We're averaging a lot of yards in that package. Sad to see Ben go down. Ben went out there and gave us his all every single play. And something that he's never done before. So, like I said, going back to buying in and doing whatever it takes for the team to win games is special. But now, for me as a running back, it kind of helps because even if someone gets beat at the line of scrimmage or there's someone there early, he could pick up color for me, and it just makes my job a lot easier. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to.
Have you had the benefit of having a fullback?
Yeah, I had it my rookie year. I had it my rookie year. Had it this year. Been having a lot of success with it too. So.
How you feeling about this Big Ten championship on Saturday?
I got a good feeling. I got a really good feeling, and I think that would be Coach Franklin's 100th win. It's been a long time. We haven't won the Big Ten since my sophomore year. I think if we play great defense, establish the run, find a way to get the ball to 44. He's a pretty good player. I think we'll be all right.
How weird is it that it's a Big Ten championship game against Oregon?
Hey, that's where it is now, right? I think they're really the only Pac-12 team that's having success in the Big Ten. But I think if you make it a Big Ten football game and stick to it, to go back to, like I said, establish a line of scrimmage, playing defense, and letting them two young backs eat and make sure 44 get the ball, and Drew pick them apart when he has to, I think we'll be all right.
We've had 12 games with Jalen now. The last 2 months, he's been one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, if not the best. What have you noticed in the evolution of his game over the last 2 months?
He's a very smart player. I don't think we give him a lot of credit for that. I think we do, but from outside perspective, he's a really smart player. He's been doing a really good job taking care of the ball, putting us in positions to win football games. And I was talking about the other day with my family. I don't really know how to explain it, but he has it, the it factor, to win football games. He has that, and then they're like, well, how do you explain that? I don't really know. How do you explain that? You just know it, you see it. I don't think there's a lot of people who's gonna have a fumble snap on a 1-yard line and still find a way to score a touchdown. He has that to him, and throughout his whole career here, and go back to when he came in Alabama and the success he had at Oklahoma, he just got that, and you can't coach that. It's hard to find, and I'm happy that I'm part of his team.
It seems like nationally there's always a lot of debate about him. Is he being carried by the team? How good is he really? You get a chance to see him behind the scenes like a lot of these national pundits don't. Why do you think there's so much questioning of him despite his record?
I don't know. That's probably a question for everyone else. I don't. What's being carried? You want to make an argument. You can make an argument. I know I'm getting MVP chance, but you can make an argument he's in the same boat. Especially how it's really much a quarterback award. And the guys who's being mentioned with, I think he should be right up there with him. One of the best teams, and his stats matches it too. So I don't know why. I don't know why people have the idea of him. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is winning football games, and people can say whatever they want to say. But like I said, he has the it factor. He has that winning mentality, and I'm happy to be a part of his team.
Have you noticed throughout this 8-game winning streak the conversation about goals changing at all since maybe the start of training camp?
What do you mean by that? Our goals, team goals?
Yeah, team goals.
No. I wouldn't say, everybody's team goal in the beginning of the season is kind of the same. We all want to get that nice, pretty trophy at the end. You can't get too focused on that. You got to let it come to you. You got to take it day by day. But our goals that we have are you know, our core values and taking care of the ball and, you know, togetherness. And, you know, Coach keeps saying you want to do special, you know what, you got to do it together. And that's kind of like what we've been focusing on. And I think we've been doing a really good job of that.
You know, and that's something we take pride in. Talk about our conditioning every day and, you know, how we can be the best conditioned team on the field, you know, in order to make that happen, to be tougher longer.
Nick said this morning that this is a league, if you start to feel yourself too much, the NFL will humble you really fast. How important is it for you guys to kind of just stay locked in, stay tight? I know obviously the team coming in only has 3 wins, but you know, once you strap on those pads, the records don't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know, once you get out on that field, nothing matters, you know, besides playing ball and playing it the right way, and doing your job each and every snap. You know, because the other team's got good players too. You know, you can't look too much into a record. You know, these guys have been playing well. You know, over the past however many weeks. You know, so you got to be ready each and every week. You know, you can't take a week off.
And what do you see from Bryce Young when you see him on tape? Obviously, he's been playing better the last month or so.
Yeah, he throws the ball really well. You know, he can escape the pocket. You know, so we gotta try and contain him, and when he gets outside the pocket, we gotta stay on our coverage down the field. You know, and create tight windows. You know, he can put the ball really anywhere on the field from any hash. You know, so we gotta be tight in coverage.
You guys have been outscoring opponents by about 2-1 in the fourth quarter during this winning streak. What is it in the fourth quarter that you think you can put your finger on is keeping you guys from keeping them out of the end zone as well as allowing your offense to score?
Yeah, I think it goes back to our conditioning and what I said earlier about being tougher for longer. You know, we want to be playing our best, you know, towards the end of the game, you know, because that's when the moment gets big, especially in a tight game and down the stretch. Being able to play your best ball and not be tired physically and mentally down the stretch. You know, we want to be at our best during those moments.
Speaking of down the stretch, you guys don't have a whole lot of traveling to do. It's probably good this time of year. Kind of maybe a little bit more time at home with the guys. Is that these guys look at that at all, or you don't really care?
I haven't really paid attention to be honest. I go home and do the same thing every day, so it doesn't really matter to me. Yeah.
So obviously at this time of the year, last year your season was kind of wrapping up. Obviously you'd have a bowl game or whatnot, but at this point in the season, you guys still have 5 more games. How does your body feel as you hit to stretch run of the NFL season that's a little longer than what you've been playing the last couple of years?
Yeah, it feels pretty good right now. You know, just got to continue to take care of it. Like you said, you know, our season last year is just now wrapping up. You know, so got to continue to take care of the body, you know, and stay fresh and ready to go each week.
Thank you, Cooper.
Nolan, it seemed like against Baltimore you had one of your better games since you've been here. I'm curious, when you watch the tape, what did you see looking back at how you played?
Man, I just got to finish. I want to finish on the quarterback a little bit more. Man, he a good quarterback. He scrambled, moved around, and I just to testify that to Coach Walsh working with me every day, and it don't show up till the end of the year. But man, just using my hands and him just pouring into me, man. My coach give me everything he got, and I try to do the same on the field.
When you get that many reps, is it easier for you to sort of get into the flow of the game?
Yeah, it's real easy to get in the flow of the game, and you really just, I wouldn't say you let the game come to you, man. You got to attack the game every day, and I'm just blessed to have this moment, and I'm thankful just to be here.
The defensive line, I think, over the last 5 or 6 weeks leads the league in sacks. I'm curious, I mean, just more reps and more practice, but why do you think it's really come together as the season has gone on?
Man, I just say guys hungry, we all talking, and we're just playing really good football. We flying around, and we got to keep that going, you know, keep the energy, you know, be physical up front. And I just tell all the guys, man, be yourself and just be you. That's why you got here.
Do you feel any more pressure with Brandon out? Brandon Graham up first here.
No, I don't feel no pressure. I feel more of a attack, or more of a do it for him. I know people thought in the Baltimore game I was playing at the end, but no, I was for real. Like everything from now on we doing for BG, because I was once that senior that left out and I couldn't do nothing but cheer the guys on, and I know how that felt, and I don't never want that on nobody because it really do hurt.
What has he seen from Bryce Young on tape the last couple of weeks? It seems like he's kind of hitting his stride after some early struggles.
Man, that's my dog, man. Be a real good quarterback, man. He elusive. He everything you want, and he got a big arm, man. He can throw it all the way down the field. I know people talk about different things, but I'm only gonna talk about his attributes, man. He a really good quarterback. Man, we played him 2 years in a row at the SEC Championship, and that first time we played him, he sliced and diced us. So that's one of the things I'll never forget. So, man, he a really good quarterback, and he poised.
What was Brandon's presence like on the sideline for the Raiders game?
Man, his presence on not only in the sideline, the locker room, everything, man. I just love BG, and that's the whole reason we're doing it, and we got to keep going for him.
How often did you talk to him, would you say, during the game?
Man, a lot. Talk to him a lot, what he see, because, 15-year eyes versus year 2 eyes look way different. So, man, he's seeing things that, we could really get into.
Nolan, you mentioned the physicality and how much you guys are trying to be physical up front. How much has that physicality allowed you guys to wear down opponents in the second half? And are you seeing that? Do you see that you guys be a little more physical than them?
No, not really. Man, the Ravens group, they were really physical. That's a really, really good team, and that's a physical brand of football that they play, and we just happened to, meet up against each other, and it was a physical game, and, those are the type of tests that you need to go on your own.
How do you think Alex did?
Oh, man, Alex did amazing. Man, I just told him to go out there and play free and do what he do and take care of your job. And one thing about it, man, just play fast. And I always tell him, boy, your mama watching. So you may not this and that, you may be like mistaken all that, but at the end of the day, man, your mama watching you. So what you gonna do when your mama watching? So you ain't gonna, half and do stuff halfway. You gonna go all the way. I hope you would do it.
What's the mentality against this Panthers team that's 3-9 but has played better lately? It's been in really close games lately.
Man, the mentality is still the same, man. You got to go out there, be physical, and hunt, and try to be the first one to the ball and meet somebody there. And we're gonna do the same thing that we always do every week. We was in pads today, and that's how we treat every week, like normal.
Nolan, have you noticed throughout this 8-game winning streak the conversation about goals changing at all, or is it the same thing you guys have talked about since training camp?
Yeah, it's the same thing. We try to keep the main thing, and focus on going 1-0 every week, and then we'll worry about the goals that you're talking about when we get there. But we got to focus staying 1-0 every week and keep building.
You mentioned the pads. Like you guys have been practicing the pads a lot more this year, practicing on Wednesdays a lot more. How much does that go toward contributing to the identity of the defense?
I don't know, man. I just testify to our coaches, man. Our D staff and our coaches upstairs just pushing us and showing different guys doing different things and really striking and using their hands. And for me, Coach Walsh hold us to that standard. Strike, use your hands, and he was an offensive line coach at one point, so he coaching. He know towards the end of the season that's what the old line coaching. So he giving us the same pointers.
A few weeks ago, you made a statement you were latching down both, or you should be latching down both.
Off of those scout team reps, you guys seemingly are practicing a lot differently than you have in years past. You've obviously seen different iterations of coaches and practice approaches. How would you describe the intensity and just the amount of practice you guys have this year, especially on Wednesdays?
Yeah, we have some more meeting time, and before practice we do a little bit of walkthrough stuff individually with Stout. So we only have a few more padded practices, so we're really trying to Wednesday simulate the run game for a period, and then a lot of it's just walkthroughs, going through plays, trying to save the body. As the season wears on, guys tire out, but it's been effective. It hasn't taken any away from us physically. I think they do a good job of monitoring us, just how we're progressing in the weight room or if we're tired during the week. So it's been good, but I think, keeping the pads on and the physicality, at least for Wednesdays, carries over because a lot of teams aren't doing that.
There have been years past where you guys you've already switched over to walkthroughs at this point in the year. Is it something Nick talks to the leadership council about? Is that something that he talks to guys like you about?
Yeah, some. Most of the time we'll kind of preview the week ahead. But we're used to Wednesdays being padded. Obviously it's later in the week and you only have a certain amount, but we saved some for this time of the year, and I do think it is weird when you go from walkthroughs all week and not having hardly any full speed pads to a game. It is can catch you off guard, but I feel like we've done a good job with how we've done things this year.
I heard you talking about the fourth quarter success a little bit there. I asked Nick, so I'm going to ask you. Do you guys hold stuff for the fourth quarter when it comes to the running game?
Yeah. So there's some plays at least the first half. I mean, we may bring them out third quarter, but there's a lot of stuff that we don't show in the first half that we might save for the second half. So we've done that several times this year, and I wish we could do it for the game and get our first half going a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, we really have. We've been a second half team this year, but coming up, the first quarter has been kind of iffy for us. So if we could just match the momentum of what we do in the second half to the first. But I think a lot of it's just the way we adjust. We have our game plan, and then a lot of times, teams now are switching to 5 down and doing stuff that they don't normally do. So, that's really what it is.
When you guys got kick-started, sort of you had the short field, but tempo was also a big part of it. What do you think? Why does that work so well with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, the teams have their certain packages they're used to substituting, and you don't give them a chance to do that, and you keep the same guys on the field. And I think with our RPO packages and what we do, it just keeps defenders guessing, and you can't sub, and they get fatigued. And yeah, some teams do adjust to it well, and some teams don't. So, when we watch film, we see the teams that don't, and like some games we have run some tempo. We didn't really run a whole lot last game, but we do have it in our arsenal.
You talked after the game about you're turning this corner towards this end of the season, and you learned from last year, and just something you guys, the veterans, talk to some of the younger players about how to you're doing well right now, and you want to keep it up as you go towards this stretch here.
Yeah, just remember why you're having success. I think a lot of it, what you do between Wednesday and game day is really what matters. So by the time game day rolls around, you're not thinking a whole lot. The way you practice, intensity, making calls, all that stuff develops your habits, and that's the stuff that transitions. It doesn't just happen on game day. So a lot of these young cats, man, they're coming in. I feel like they've been coached well in college. You don't have to say a whole lot to them. They're on point. And it seems like every week they just keep getting better and better. Playing, the more experience they get, the better they're playing. I just see the defense, man. They're just flying around. I mean, a lot of just swarming to the ball, and you got to have that.
The two rookie D-backs. Have you seen two rookies have such poise at this time of the season?
No. I'm trying to think if we had. I mean, the corners we've had over the years. But no. Yeah. Yeah, but these two guys they're special. They don't say a whole lot, but they say a whole lot with how they play, and they work hard. So, like I said, I feel like they were coached well, did a good job of scouting them, and I think just every week they just keep getting better, and so that's really what it boils down to.
It's been pointed out how beneficial it is for you guys over the final 5 games of the regular season that you don't have a flight, but 4 of the next 5 are at home. How beneficial is it to have such a heavy home schedule down this stretch?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the way it's played out. We've had some success on the road, which is big, but I think we try to remember, last year we were in a good position as well, and the games didn't go the way we wanted to. So let that be a reminder of, what can happen if you let your guard down. Don't just think you can go out and beat any team without putting the work in and knowing, your assignments. So that's really it. I don't want to think too far ahead. Carolina has a good defense. I got to go against Clowney this week, who's obviously a really good player. So don't get too far ahead and know what's in store. But there's a reason why we're having success. That's the way we practice, and all the stuff the coach preaches about ball security, taking away the football, little stuff like that.
For many years, Nick has called you